we were just talking about raised fascia details at the eave. One of the reasons the tile has a headlap of 3 inches, but it's a 16 or 17 inch long piece of material. Our tile is also very thick. It's 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, and it's resting on the preceding row all the way up the roof. The very first row doesn't have a preceding row. That's why we use eave riser metal to support that first row. Another way to do that, it's most commonly done with low profile tile, because when we can take this type of detail with a fascia board and plywood, and we can raise the fascia above the deck, so we can have a nice transition from roof water into the gutter. It's a nice, clean, aesthetic look, but it causes us a problem. Now our backup system runs down, and instead of getting to the gutter, it gets to right behind the fascia board. Look how good this underlayment is here. This is like 18 years old. But this underlayment up here, this is pliable. I mean, I could push on a small bubble or wrinkle and it springs back. This underlayment is shot because it's had moisture on it from day one. There's no drip edge flashing. The guys hammer tacked the 30 pound into the top of the fascia board. They're like 4 foot lengths. It's anti-ponding foam. So it's just beveled foam like you use for any other type of taper kit, but it's made specifically for tile. And this mimics the height of the back side of the tile up on the roof. If we were on the roof and we wanted our underlayment, and we were doing, say, a transition flashing, and I could put my underlayment over that or my flashing over that. Down at the eave, it's going to raise up the underlayment right up to the back side of that fascia board. That's what it looks like if you were doing a brand new construction. You put your eave drip edge metal on there. So we're just supporting that underlayment so we still have positive drainage off the roof, and we still can have that raised fascia. So we've got a little less pitch there, but we still have positive drainage. We'll go back with, like, if we're doing a repair, we'll go back with like a 12-inch stretch up, put a 2-inch bend on the front, so we give them a drip edge flashing, and then we'll go up underneath and we'll just chalk a line on that underlayment and cut it off, so we can get up underneath it. And we're not trying to integrate in with this brittle stuff down here, which is just going to be a mess. You know, sometimes it's worse than that, sometimes it's better, but we'll silicone the ends of that, and that will be an adequate solution. This is not the primary roof covering. This is the backup roof covering for rainwater that gets wind driven past the tile under certain conditions that are short-lived, storm-related, and then the water comes off the roof. So feel totally comfortable with
Question on that repair. So you didn't use the foam, or can you just not see it underneath the metal?
No, didn't use the foam in that. We used metal instead. So that's 26 gauge metal. It'll do that, and that's one of the ways. If you were starting a house from scratch, I would prefer to use metal if I were doing it. Metal, foam, wood, anything that will give you support there. All we're doing is supporting the underlayment.
Yeah. How do you feel about putting eave riser on top of raised fascia to create the cool?
Yeah, actually, we were talking about that. So there's a calculation there. Is that what we're doing? Is we're trying to mimic the height of a preceding row that doesn't exist. So that first row, the eave riser metal is there to support the tile in a way, so that something called, I think Lisa had the picture of it, the cant angle. The roof pitch is a 412, but if you put your pitch gauge on every tile, on her example, the tile are at a 3.3 because they're resting on the preceding row. But that first row would go down, it would drop down to a 412 and be very visible. So our eave riser is designed to bring that up so that it mimics that same height. If you've got a raised fascia and then you put eave riser metal on it, you're going to kick that tile up higher than what it needs to be, and it may not make it flat, but it's going to be significantly less than a 3.3. It's going to be visible, and it's going to be a water problem because you're going to put a very low pitch on that. So in my mind, you got to go one way or the other, and that means ripping off ripping meaning a rip cut on the fascia board, taking it down, which is